All right, market heroes, it's Iron Condor time. Now I didn't make up this name, but yeah, it's a funny one. Anyway, Iron Condors are yet again another excellent strategy that we use almost daily. Some of our market heroes have made tens of thousands of dollars with this strategy alone. It's phenomenal. What's great about it is number one, your risk is defined on order entry. And if your risk is defined on order entry, you don't need a margin account to be able to do this. So Iron Condors can be done in every single type of account, right? Because it's defined risk on order entry. Also, Iron Condors can actually give us pretty high return on capital, which is also really, really cool. And there's no undefined risk when placing in Iron Condors, right? So what the hell is an Iron Condor? Right? What is that? It's got some weird name. What is it? Well, it's nothing more than selling a call spread and selling a put spread at the same time. So let's see what that looks at. Selling a call spread is selling a call and then buying a call further out of the money. Let's say, for example, this 253, right? So that is selling a call spread. We could do the same on the other side. So let's say selling the 244 put, and we're going to buy the 239 put, right? That is known as an Iron Condor. We're selling a call spread and a put spread at the same time, right? So we make money in this case the same way that we make money in most other strategies where we're selling options for a credit. The first way is if the price of the options fall between our two short strikes, right? So if the price of SPY finishes in between 248 and 244, we make money on this strategy. At the same time, we also make money on this strategy if the expected move decreases over time over the length of this strategy in this trade, because again, options are priced off the expected move. If the expected move is overstated to the actual move, which means options are overpriced, we sell options. So if we sell options, we profit if the price of those options go down, right? So that's why we were selling here, right? We're collecting the credit for doing so, right? And the interesting part is we've gone through strangles, we've gone through straddles, and Iron Condor is actually no different than selling a strangle or a straddle and just buying the wings, right? So you can see here, we're collecting 265 and our max risk is 235. So again, this could be done in any type of account. That's what an Iron Condor is. It's selling a call spread and selling a put spread at the exact same time. So how do we make money from this, right? Because this is what we really care about, right? So we did do the same time frame we do with a lot of our other studies, 14 and a half years of data, depending on when you're watching this, right? Every single day we sold a $5 wide Iron Condor, where we're collecting close to $125 in credit on both sides, right? So together we're looking to collect about $250 on the $5 wide Iron Condor, right? So let's do that from scratch here. On the call side, we're going to sell the 248 call. We're going to sell, remember, it's $5 wide spread, right? On the other side, we're going to, so let's see, sell the 243, oh, excuse me, that's got to be in the same one, the 243 put, and buying the 238 put, right? So this is 255 is what we're looking to actually collect in credit, right? So it's a $5 wide spread, and we're looking to collect $2.50 combined, or $1.25 on each side, right? So our break evens are going to be our short strike plus or minus the 250, right? So we're short the 253 call, which means our break even on this is going to be 255 and a half. And we're short the 248 call. We're short the 248 call, so our break even is going to be 250 and a half. And at the same time, we're short the 243 put, which means our break even is going to be 205 and a half, right? And we could see that there, right? So we can see there. So it's a $10 range here for us, right? It's a $10 range for us here, okay? So that is what this is. So every single day for 14 and a half years, we did this strategy. And what we did was we did it in the monthly expiration cycle, closes 50 days from expiring, and we just held it to expiration. That's all we did, right? So we put it on, we put it off. Now, when we're collecting half of the width of the strikes in terms of a spread. So again, this is a spread. It's $5 wide. We're collecting half of the width of the strikes. You can see our max profit is 250, our max loss is 250, right? In order to calculate the probability of making money on a spread, we take the inverse of what we collected. So in this case, 50%. So this strategy that we're doing where we collect $2.50 on a $5 wide spread, we have a 50% chance of profitability, right? And when we have a 50% chance of profitability, we're right once and wrong the other. And again, I say this in every single one of our lessons, conventional wisdom would say, hey, you're not going to make any money because you'll make $1, you'll lose $1, and it'll all come out in the wash. So what was expected to happen on this $5 wide iron condor, which again is a short call spread and a short put spread, where we collect $2.50 for doing so, we're supposed to make no money. As it turns out, doing it every day, we make $11.86. We make about 25 cents a day, and the average return on capital for the entire trade is 4.74%. So while $11.86 is nothing to snuff at, right? It's like no big deal. Who cares? It's $11. In terms of the money that we're putting up, that's almost 5% of the money we're putting up of the $250. It's a big deal. Imagine doing this 10 times. Then it becomes much better, right? Then it becomes like, oh, I'm making a lot more money. But return on capital comes into play because, again, iron condors are a defined risk trade, right? So the risk isn't unlimited. We make less money potentially because we have to buy options, which takes away from the total credit we receive. But at the same time, we're defining our risk, which means there's clear return on capital in here. And iron condors, they don't cost a lot of money to do, as you just saw. In this specific strategy, and we'll go over plenty, don't worry. In this specific strategy, it only costs us $250 to do it because our max loss is $250, right? But we're making about 4% return on our money just on that trade. Not bad. So let's try to take it a step further like we do every single time. So we did the same thing here, same days over 14 and a half years of data, depending on when you're watching this lesson. It's over 7,200 occurrences because what we did was we sold, again, a $5 wide iron condor is a short call spread and a short put spread where the total credit received is $2.50 and the width of all the strikes is $5 wide. So what we did for this study is we did what we did last time, which again is just putting the trade on and letting it expire. And now, because we know managing our winners is an effective strategy and is typically resulting in more profits, more winning trades, etc., let's see how we're doing there. So as it turns out, if we buy back this $5 wide iron condor, we're right instead of 50% of the time. We're right 63% of the time. Right? We average in the trade about 28 days and we make about 36 cents per day. Now, the return on capital for this is lower. Rather than being 4.74%, it's just about 4.02%. However, we make about 50% more money per day. So while the return on capital isn't crazy, we make about 50% more money per day, right? So while this is only 4% over a 28-day period, it's going to end up being 8% over a 56-day period, right? So now it gets interesting. Clearly, managing our winners with iron condors is an effective strategy, right? So let's take it another step further, right? So again, we have their basic iron condor, a $5 wide iron condor, where we're collecting half of the width of the spreads. So again, what does that look like? I'm going to sell a call, and $5 away, I'm going to buy a call. What this does is this creates a short call spread, right? I'm collecting $1.66 for doing this, right? And I have a max loss. An iron condor, though, isn't just selling a call spread. It's selling a call spread and a put spread at the same time. So let's go down to the puts. We're going to sell the 243 put and at the same time buy the 238 put, right? We could do this for about $2.50. Our max profit is $250. Our max loss is $250. When that happens, we've created an iron condor. As you can see, iron condor, all that stuff. We've created an iron condor. It's a 50% chance of making money. we know that when we do it and we manage our winners, we're right even more. We're right 63% of the time. We make about 4% in our money every 28 days. Not bad. Now let's take it a step further, because remember, we like selling options when volatility or the expected move is greater than average. The reason for that is because options are priced off of the expected move. The expected move is overstated. Options prices are overstated. And when the expected move is even greater than normal, options prices are even additionally overstated. So they're extra overstated. So let's see how this strategy works when we do it in periods of high volatility. Remember, this strategy alone, conventional wisdom says you have a 50% chance of making money. At the end of the day, you're going to make $0. So let's see where we can take it when we put everything together. Excuse me. So now when we just hold the expiration and we do it in periods of high volatility, we're right 55% of the time for about 53 cents per day. Right? So when we look at comparing holding to expiration in periods of not high volatility and periods of high volatility, we have double the profitability. Right? So instead of making 25 cents a day, we make 53 cents per day. Our average return on capital instead of 5% is about 10%. Right? So that's a big deal, guys. Every 47 days to make 10% of your money, that's a big deal. Right now, the 30-year U.S. Treasury bond, which is seen as the most solid investment in the world, is yielding about 3%. This strategy alone, without any management, gives you 10% yield every 47 days on average. Not bad. And it only costs you $250 to do. Not bad. But now we know that managing our winners at 50% of max profit works. So rather than we write 50% of the time, we write 63% of the time, right? And we make about 4% over a 28-day period, which is pretty damn good. But if we place this trade, which again is a short call spread and a short put spread, $5 wide spreads where we collect half the width of the spread, in this case $250. If we do it and we manage it at 50% of the profit and in periods where volatility is greater than average, we're right 71% of the time. We make about $1.37 per day. We're only in the trade for about 27 days, and on average, it's a return on capital of 14.8%. Yes, that is correct. 14.8% if you do this at the right time. So if you'd like to do an iron condor where you're collecting half of the width of the strikes, my suggestion is, number one, always manage it at 50%. Number two, if you do it in periods of high volatility, your on average return on capital will be 14.8%. That's right, only in a 27-day period. Pretty good. I'll see you guys in the next video.